Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason and I am your watch guy today. Yep, don't let the haircut and fresh shave fool you, same person. Today I am going to be reviewing the Pagani Design PD-1670. I dubbed it a kind of a homage twist between a Rolex Submariner and a Tag Heuer aquaracer. You'll see why in the review. I am also the absolute idiot who decided to drop this watch and smash the case back. So Pagani Design, if you are watching this, I would love a new case back. Obviously I'll pay for it, but yeah. Can we sort one of them out, guys? Speaking of which, Pagani Design did send me this watch for free. I get to keep it. I do not have to send it back. And therefore you have seen a little paid promotion tag just down here. That's all I received. Don't get any money or anything like that. But this review will remain 100% honest as always. If you would like to purchase this watch, I have an affiliate link in the description. Check that out. I'd be very appreciative. Without any further ado, let's get this camera turned around and let's get into this review. So here we have the Pagani Design PD-1670. It's a little bit of a crossover between what I'd say is a primarily Submariner Homage casing and a aquaracer style dial. I'll get into that in a little second when I get to the dial, but firstly this casing here is 316L stainless steel, obviously in a Submariner styling. Now it's actually quite well proportioned in the dimensions. It's 41 millimeters in diameter. It is 13.2 millimeters thick, 47.4 millimeters lug to lug, and the lugs are 20 millimeters, so quite universal. Now it actually looks a little bit more chunky than I think it is. Now I'll just compare it to the Hulk that I have on wrist. So as you can see, the side profile of the Hulk, it looks very thin, looks very sporty. Just look at the side profile of this here PD-1670. It looks a lot chunkier. I think they're pretty much the same casing. I think knowing Pagani Design, they are the same case, but I think the bezel plays in a lot more on the 1670. So as you probably expect, this is packed with an NH35A movement. Now that's something that Pagani Design use quite often, and it's one of the things that attracts me to their brand quite often also. I think the Seiko NH35 is one of the most reliable, affordable movements that can be packed into a watch, and if I see one advertised with an NH35, I expect it to be at least a good quality movement. So as I mentioned, the casing is built from 316L stainless steel. It has a mixture of high polish on the sides here and brushing on the upper lugs. As I've also mentioned, it is in that Submariner type of styling. For a sub £100 watch, I believe this is actually quite nicely finished. Especially the air polishing on the sides, very nice, very clean, no nicks or anything like that to it when it arrived. The brushing, very nice also, nice clean straight lines on that brushing. That's, yeah, good quality for the price that you're actually paying. As I say, sub £100, well, sub $100. These are available on the Pagani Design watch website for less than $100, which I think is a pretty good deal for what you're getting. We have a screw down crown built into this one. Just clip that out as you would expect. Two positions, first for the date and second for the time. Just screw that back in. It sits very nicely in between those crown guards. I am a big fan of nicely designed crown guards, and yeah, this Submariner style, obviously we don't know it's a Pagani Design, but I am a fan of that case style. We have a signed crown on this one, and as we move around to the back, now you can see the damage that I've actually caused myself. That's a display case back, but it's also a cracked one, unfortunately. No fault to Pagani Design themselves, that is me and me alone. As you can see there, the NH35 movement packed into the back. We have some information surrounding that screw down case back. Now this is a 60 click unidirectional bezel. Either a 60 or 120 click unidirectional bezel I think is suitable for these watches. Hate it when they pack them with like 90 click bezels. It's just like, why? What way does that fit to the 60 minutes? This is a green ceramic bezel insert. It's very nicely accented by the white numerals surrounding the dial with the dots in between the 5-minute indicators. It's a very clean bezel, I think, a very clean bezel insert. The bezel itself is kind of strange. It's not coin edge or anything like that. It's got no sort of grip to it. It's got a brushed finish on the side and a polished chamfered edge on the top. And I think that bezel is what gives this watch the presence that it does, that sort of bulkier feel. Because there's no real, it doesn't really break up anywhere, does it? So sitting in this casing, we have a sapphire crystal. As you can see, it has a very heavily magnified date cyclops. You may not be able to see it on camera, but in person it does actually line up pretty well. Not a big fan of cyclopses myself. It'd be, if I kept this watch, it'd probably be one that I would remove. This watch packs a 100-meter water resistance rating with that screw down crown, screw down caseback, which is pretty standard on these Pagani Design sports models. And at this pricing, exactly what I would personally expect. The dial itself is reminiscent of an aquaracer. I'll just insert the picture just here for you. As you can see, it does have some styling cues from that, especially at the 12 o'clock here with this 12 o'clock indice. It's a triangular indice with stainless steel border and loom fill. The rest of the indices also follow that suit. They are all applied. We have more triangular batons at the 6 and 9, and filling the rest of the hour marks we have standard batons. Over at the 3 o'clock we have this date window. Now with this being a white date wheel, it kind of flows better with the other indices, so I don't mind that it's not colour matched, and under $100 I wouldn't expect a colour match date wheel. The dial itself has a very nice sunburst effect. It's a darker green than I actually expected in person, but the dial I like. I think it's a really nice colour. I think the sunburst effect's really lovely, and yeah, I'm a fan of it. Around the edge of the dial we have a white printed minute track. Up at the 12 o'clock we have a Pagani Design logo. That's actually in a more grey print, not too sure why. Down towards the 6 o'clock we have automatic water resistant 10 bar 100 meter. And either side of the 6 o'clock we have the Japan movement. Pagani Design obviously want you to know that this is packed with a Seiko movement, that quality NH35. The handset is also loomed. It is a standard Mercedes style handset. The second hand, however, has a very lovely yellow accent to the tip of it, and that yellow accent also flows with the print at the 10 bar 100 meter. That's really nice that they've kind of carried that on through the dial and give it a little bit of a colour accent. I think that's a nice quality detail from Pagani Design. Now, one thing Pagani Design are not known for is the loom. I'll just insert the loom shot here for you. So the loom on this one actually did surprise me. We've got green loom on the indices surrounding the dial, but on the actual handset we've got a blue loom, and it lasted slightly longer than I expected it to. Usually the loom on these Pagani Designs are pretty standard and fade very, very quickly. By no means is it a good loom, I'm going to make that very clear, but it's nice to see that they've done something slightly different with the loom this time. As you can see, it's not great, but under $100, I don't know if you can really complain considering everything else that you do get in this one. As I say, not something that Pagani Design are known for, the loom. One thing that Pagani Design have changed on their sports models with this sort of faux, well, homage Rolex type of bracelet, they've stopped putting high polish through the center links and instead have opted to brush the entire bracelet, which I think flows better with the watch myself. These are screw links and they taper towards the clasp. We have male protruding end links. They are solid end links, however, so that is a little bit of quality in this watch. Now just open this up. It is a nicely machined folding clasp. We have a safety here. I really like the strip down the middle with the Pagani Design print in the center. Well, I say print, it's more engraved. I really do like the clasps on these for the price that you pay. They're quite good. Now, that's not to say that they're perfect. I mean, there's definitely some improvements to be made, which I will get into. Down the side of the bracelet is high polish, which flows very nicely into the side polish of the watch itself. We also have 3 micro adjust points just inside the clasp here, not like a standard micro adjust. And we have a fold out extension, very tiny fold out extension, but it is there to be noted. Now let me just pop this on wrist for you, just to give you a idea of how it looks on my 6.2 inch wrists. Very good sizing on them, very suitable for a lot of wrist sizes, which is good for Pagani Design because obviously, I mean, more sales. You don't really have to worry about throwing a 40mm on wrist. Well, 41mm usually suits pretty much anyone. Here is the Pagani Design PD-1670 on wrist. We really do have to find a nickname for this one, guys, because PD-1670 doesn't really flow off the tongue, does it? I really enjoy wearing these cases from Pagani Design. They always fit very nicely to my wrists, always conform very well to wrist and feel very comfortable whilst wearing them. So all bonus points to Pagani Design for the feel on wrist. Now, that isn't to say that Pagani Design have created a perfect watch here under $100. They certainly have not. There are a couple of moans. So, firstly, the bezel's a little bit weird. It obviously makes the watch look a lot bulkier, and I'm not sure I like that. As well as that, I'm not sure about this non-grip edge to the bezel. As I say, really weird. Another thing to note is that the bezel does have play in it, like a little bit of bounce. Not as in when you're setting the bezel, but like the actual bezel fit itself. It's a little bit bouncy. Speaking of which though, there is slight amounts of play in the bezel, not very much. And the bezel does fit kind of lightly to the case. I personally prefer it when it's a tighter fit. Moving away from the bezel into this bracelet, the clasp is a little bit sharp on the undersides, and we all know that the micro adjusts on this are an absolute nightmare to use. They're just not really functional. I mean, personally, I use them. I pretty much use them on every one of my Pagani Designs. Yeah, but it's a nightmare to do it. It's an absolute nightmare. I dread using those micro adjusts. Now, aside from that, I think this is a really good offering from Pagani Design. I like that they've kind of moved away from straight homage watches, kind of trying to put their own twist onto homages, because obviously this does have a lot of styling cues from other watches, but they haven't just gone for a straight aquaracer homage. I mean, they've already done that. And they haven't just gone for a straight Submariner homage, which they've also already done. But they have tried to do something a little bit different with this watch, which I do appreciate. And I know a lot of other people have been asking for that quite a lot. One other thing to mention, the amount of magnification on that Cyclops is just really unnecessary. It's yeah, getting into the silly. I mean, it's, yeah. And as well as that, with the light hitting it, you can never read the actual date. I usually tip it to the side and try and read under. So yeah, probably use a less magnified Cyclops next time, or just don't put it in there, would be my preferred option. So guys, that is my review of the Pagani Design PD-1670. As I say, they definitely need a nickname for this watch. An actual name would be nice. Now, if you wanted to pick this one up, I have an affiliate link in the description to Pagani Design's website. Now, they offer a 12-month guarantee on there, which is preferable. You know, I mean, you want that 12-month guarantee, don't you? That's the least that you kind of expect usually from a watch manufacturer. As I say, sub $100 on this one. The exact price is right there. Just need to recheck it to make sure it's still the same. Thank you for watching this one, guys. Please do subscribe to the channel. I will be back with more reviews very soon, more Pagani Design, more Homage watches, and more micro brands, hopefully. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one.